Hi everyone, Mature Simmer here. So, I've decided to try a little bit of an experiment. You can see I'm back out here with my sprayer. And at this point, you can also see we're getting good results. So, someone mentioned, because these sprayers have a variable width, that sometimes cycling through the width again solved the problem for them when they had something similar happening. So, sorry, I'm trying to get my GPS set here. Now, when I came in, my working width was the full 33 meters. So I didn't have that, but if you do recall, at one point on that other field, we did change to 8 meters or whatever it was. I did set it back, as I said, but it's possible that something went awry. So, well, that was interesting, because it looked like it was a heck of a lot closer to the edge of the field, because I was going to just let it go a little bit and drive manually until, well, actually, no, that doesn't make any sense, because if I drive manually, I'm not going to get the left side correct, so I do just need to kind of do this. So we'll see, because this is where it started to have problems when we kind of overlapped each other. And we do have those very unique stripes for some reason that you know, are left over from when we harvested. Not quite sure why, the way the potatoes went, that worked. So this field does need to be plowed because of the potatoes, so I have needs plowing turned off. If I turn it back on, you can see it needs it. Now needs lime is on, or actually I guess now it's on, but and I've turned the weeds off, obviously, because I wanted to make sure that I could tell if my fertilizer was actually operating appropriately. So my hope is that we have got the ability to do this way, because as I said, liquid fertilizer is less expensive, and I've also got more working with here, not quite double, but close to it, because this is 33 meters and my spreader will go to 18. So while the spreader, you know, has a good level of coverage, it's not obviously as good as 33 compared to 18. So I definitely would love the opportunity to be able to do this. And, you know, that one stripe I understand, because that's the fully fertilized stripe that we have from the potatoes. So that's okay if that's all I end up seeing as non-darkened on the field. Because, yeah, the other benefit here, and the thing that I've certainly learned, is if this didn't work, then I would be able to go ahead and do that fertilization with the solid fertilizer. So if somehow the problem does return and I can't resolve it with simply changing the width and cycling through that and hopefully having the sprayer reset itself, then I will, of course, resort back to the solid fertilizer in the future to make sure that we're fertilized. But it's always something that I'll now be careful and keeping an eye on. I see that must be that. I'm just seeing that piece over what would be the right side of the black. You can see is also not clear that I went over it, but so it's also interesting because there are these little dashes here that were there. You know, we've got some here, but I think when we go back, they're gone. So unlike these other areas that are staying fully fertilized, those are not working out that way. I still have not gotten around to plowing 14 and 15. Nobody purchased them, so there's kind of less of a hurry there, but I'm semi-officially falling behind then with maintaining the fields. But I've done a lot of plowing, and again, I'm still reeling from potato. It's not really potato gate, but it seems like that's always what anything that doesn't work well, that's what people call it, something gate. Whoops. I didn't realize I was continuing to spray. I thought I had turned it off, so I guess they'll get free fertilization in that field. But yeah, the trick will be once I'm up at the top here, because I'm sure I'll overlap a little bit, although without crop it's easier to see. But the trick will definitely be there of, does it all work as I would expect, and does it start not eliminating it, for example. But I'm going to go ahead and keep working on this field. Once ahead, again, I'll probably at least give you a time lapse of it, so that if you'd like to continue along on the journey and just see how this all works out, you can continue to watch. But this will at least be a reasonable segment here. Initially I was going to do this in March, the first day of spring, but after someone had made the suggestion, I decided, well, I'll go hook up to the sprayer and see if somehow I do have it on a smaller working width. And I didn't, and then that turned into, well, let me pull it out on the field and see if it behaves any differently. And then you've seen the rest. So anyway, enjoy, and I'll see you when I'm done. So the good news, as you can see, is it is all complete. So it worked. So if nothing else, at least we got one application of fertilizer on appropriately with the sprayer, and at least I don't feel like we have a ongoing problem. So I was initially going to leave this out, but I think I will leave it here, though. I don't need to put it away for the season, because I need to, with the plan we've got coming up for next year, we're going to need to fertilize the north end of the field too. But I'll do that later. Just, again, trying to split up the work a bit so that it isn't overwhelming. So you may have noticed, if you've been observant, that we don't have anything other than our potato planter to plant stuff with. So we will, in fact, be buying equipment in the next few episodes to get things done, because we're going to need something to plant corn, and we're going to need something to plant wheat. So, you know, we had gotten rid of the Amazon because we have a different alternative that we're going to be utilizing, but again, there was no point in spending that money until we needed it. But we're getting close, at least on one side, because again, what was going to replace the Amazon was what's planting the wheat. So we're still a little ways away, because wheat planting doesn't really happen till late summer, early fall type of thing. So, but we will have a planter here by April, otherwise we won't be planting on time. So I will see you next time.